glad to see you again. And now we're going to go to the second topic in this series, and that is the digital transformation and your business model. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about this whole idea of what can digital do to help you to change your business model. And this is really an opportunity because so many businesses are caught unaware, and the whole changes in the crisis just accelerate the need to have a digital transformation. So today I'm going to share with you a few simple ways to look at how you can use digital to create new layers of value for your business. Now, one of the things that we want to come back to, which is very fundamental, is that the customer is a human being, right? And the crisis will change people. It will change people's needs. It will change people's habits. It will change the way people do things. Now, how do we relate to some of these changes, and how do we actually see a way that we can transform our business model to meet these needs better? But first of all, I want to share with this concept called digital transformation and why is it so important for us to get it right. Now, a lot of companies play around with these terms: digital transformation, digitalization, digital this, digital that, but they mix it up and they get it wrong. Because fundamentally, digital transformation and digitalization are two different things. Business model transformation is digital transformation, where you use digital to create new layers of value for your customers. Digitalization is about improving processes, and improving processes might not necessarily mean you change a business model. But what we really want to talk about is to change the business model by looking at a better solution for the customer. In other words, do better business, create better products and services, and a whole new different way of creating value for your customer, so that in this crisis or after this crisis, you are in a much better position to win customers and grab a bigger market share. That's what we really want to talk about, right? So, digital transformation is you can undergo digitalization without digital transformation. Means you can change your processes to make these processes faster, better, more productive, but essentially your business model does not change. But you cannot undergo digital transformation without digitalization. So digital transformation, let's put it out first, is to transform the business model to create more value for your customers, taking into consideration the changes in this crisis and how technology can help to improve our processes to catch up with these changes in the needs of the customer. And let's talk about what these are. So, customer habits are going to change. How are you going to grow your market share? By adapting to these new habits. Or another way of saying it is that customers will have new needs that arise because of the crisis or because of how society has changed as a result, right? New habits, new behaviors, new needs, new pain points, new frustrations. So any of these things, if you can adapt, you are actually creating new layers of value on top of your original product and service. So your original product and service remains maybe the same, but the new elements of value that you can create that your customer or your competitors do not have. So how do you create these new layers of value for your customers? One area is accessibility, and that means how can you be faster, more simple to use, more convenient than your competitors. Think of how the entire food delivery industry has just changed the way people eat, right? It's really because during this crisis, suddenly everybody needs food delivery, right? And that's something because the behaviors can change and it will not go back, or rather more people will be used to this way of dining, right, than previously before. Customized is about relevance and impact. How do you make your product even more relevant to your clients? How does it make it even more impactful? Right? This is also really because now people have got more choices. Like one of the very interesting phenomena happening in this crisis is that people just spend more time online looking at different things, right? And there's so many options. How do you make it more relevant to their needs and changes that they're going through? And the third one is connectedness. How do we become more integrated into the lives, the communications, the conversation of our customers? How do we be constantly communicating with them. So we no longer just sell them like a product or a service, but how do we get into their lives to be constantly connected and communicating with them, even as we provide them for their needs and services. This is really because people's habits, needs, and behaviors have changed, and these things now become important or valuable to people. So I want to share with you an example of a company that went through a very successful digital transformation. But although this digital transformation happened before this COVID-19 crisis, but I think it's a very good example to really understand what it means to add new layers of value to the product. We all know Hasbro creates toys, right? Toys, simple plastic toys for decades. But now that they have done a study actually that young people or children don't just play these toys, but they all have got devices. They got iPads, they got tablets, they got phones, and that allow them to go into a different type of a universe where people communicate, talk, interact, and therefore just selling a plastic toy is no longer enough. You have to take into consideration the changing needs and habits of people, and that means that they want to have fun that involves interaction, that communication. They want fun that is fast and instantaneous. So what do? They go into the media. Hasbro goes into the media to create cartoons, brands, all these things that you can interact with, and that actually led to a huge increase in sales. Where the original plastic toy, is just one element of value, but they have become more connected to their customers through these devices. They have become more customized because the customers' needs have changed. I want a personal experience. I want to experience what's going on. I want to interact, with people. I want to watch something on multimedia. And that's how they add new layers of value to their business. So the key question is, what has changed in your customer? How has the needs, the fears, the preferences changed? How does the habits and the behaviors change? And how do you use digital to transform your business model so you can add new elements of value that will become relevant to them after this COVID-19 crisis? Remember, don't let a crisis go to waste, because crisis always changes people's behavior, it always changes people's needs, and that gives you an opportunity to add new layers of value to your original product and your original service, and that's how you create a better business model to engage the customer on a deeper level. So I hope this simple short video will give you some ideas to start to look at your business, your original value proposition and business model from a different perspective, and ask yourself, how do you create new layers of value? So thank you very much, and next video we'll talk about how do you build in more A players to your team so that you can scale your business when this crisis is over. Thank you.